Hello everyone, what is up? It is like whenever a server comes over to your table right as you're talking. I just took a bite of my food and I was like, now I have to talk. Hello everyone, how are you? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, fun day. Where's my music at? Hello? There we go. How you guys hanging? What's up, what's up? What is up? Had to finish chewing there for a second. I was so paranoid about the time change that last night, so I don't know if anyone realized that the time changed. Usually I don't realize. Usually they would tell me like in school and that's how I remembered or whatever. And that would be the end of it, whatever. But now, not being in school, there's no one ever to remind you, and I don't think anyone ever like posted all over social media like, oh my god, time's changing, whatever. But I didn't realize that until like middle of the day yesterday. So whenever it was around 8 o'clock, we were like, all right, well, me and my mom were like, let's act as if it's 9 o'clock. Like, let's start wrapping it up early. And that was just not the case for me. I still went to bed at like 10:30ish, which is still super early for me. But I woke up at 5 a.m. Why? I don't know. I woke up at like 5:30. And just could not go back to sleep. Don't know why. 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, maybe because that's like fully like 7 hours of sleep. Like that's fine. That's like a functioning enough amount of time to have sleep, I guess. I don't know. But I could not go back to sleep. And the sun wasn't up yet. But I don't know. When did the sun rise before? When was it like rising at 5 o'clock? Wait, can I search? What time did the sun rise yesterday? Also, when does, okay, it rose at 6:41 a.m. today. Oh, at 7:45. All right, so that's really not much of a, that's literally just because we changed the clock. So, but what time is it supposed to set today? I'm like really confused about all this because I don't understand. I thought that like, because I was looking this up yesterday because I was kind of confused. I thought that the sun sets at like 9, no? Or does it like gradually get? The sun sets at 7:33. Wait. 7:43, sorry. 7:43. So, when is it setting at 9? Does the sun ever set at 9? I thought that was the thing. I thought that, does the sun ever set at 9? I don't know. It's giving me it's not giving me a straight answer. I hate whenever I Google something and it doesn't just tell me yes or no. Like, I immediately want to know right then and there. And the fact that that Google isn't telling me right then and there, it just immediately makes me uninterested in looking into it any further, you know? Also, the past few nights I've been having some weird dreams. But not like weird, just like weird vivid. Which I haven't had super vivid dreams until, or like, last time I had super vivid dreams was when I got my tooth pulled. And I was on like medicine. So, the medicine was making my dreams super crazy. And I like woke up, and I forget what my dream was. And I'm not even just saying that because I don't want to tell you guys. I'm just serious. I don't remember what my dream was. But I remember I like woke up and it was just like, it just felt so real, and I was just like, is this real life? Like sort of a vibe like that, you know? And I'm sorry, I'm gonna go live on TikTok. TikTok on the clock, but the party don't stop, and no, whoa. Sorry. But my cat was in my room today. or like every night. She's always in my room. And I was playing with her because I couldn't go to sleep. So I was like, whenever I like tap her head, she'll like swing at me. But she never actually like claws me. Oh my god, guys. Today, look what she did. Now it's not, okay, you can't even really see it, but look at that.
Oh, yeah.
That is bizarre. Because she barely ever scratched me. She barely ever, like, I just don't know how she did that. And I washed my hands today, as one does. And oh my god, it started burning. It started burning so bad. I was not expecting that whatsoever. I literally was like, oh my gosh. I thought like maybe if the scratch was super bad. And I also washed it right after she scratched me. I like got up and I was like, oh, I need to wash it now. Because my parents had made me so paranoid. About animal scratches and animal bites. And I'm sure it's a valid thing. I'm sure it's probably a valid reasoning to be, you know, anxious about it, I guess. I don't know. But I don't know. Like my parents just somehow just taught me that. Like whenever I get scratched, I'm like immediately running to the bathroom and like washing. Wait, why do we wash off animal bites? Animal bites. Or scratches. Let's do scratches because bites kind of make sense because the bites, that's like saliva. That's like kind of gross if that like gets into your system. That's like not the vibe. Oh, it says the bacteria, same thing. Oh, and fungi. Tetanus. Oh, and it says dogs also lick their paws. Okay, that makes sense. Animals lick their paws, so that would make a lot of sense. Oh my gosh, that is so crazy. Actually, now I am scared to get scratched by an animal. Now, ever. So that's lovely. Now I'm terrified of my own cats. Anyone else? How super fun. How super fun and fresh of that. That's crazy. I did not expect that. I don't know though because she confused me because she literally, so I don't know if she's playing because I think she is because she doesn't bite that hard. I'll like pet her for a little bit and then she'll lick my hand and then she starts biting my hand. I don't know what that means. So if there's any cat whisperers among us on TikTok, Twitch, whatever, please let me know because I don't know what that means. Why she's doing that. I'm pretty sure she's still just like playing around and being fun and cute, whatever. But like, and it doesn't hurt to a point where it's like, ow, stop. Because I don't think she fully latches on to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not fully biting into me. She's not like, all right, ready, set, bite. Ah. But this scratch happened because she like was biting me from like here and like holding on to me over here. And I like sort of just sat there because I was like, oh, like if I pull too fast then she'll scratch me. But then I like was stuck there, so I just had to accept my fate at that point. It was just like, all right, well, that's what's gonna happen. That's the way it goes. But yeah, I just cannot believe she treats me like that. I just don't understand. Is she sleeping right now? Yes. Socks is in the back sleeping right now. Also, excuse me. I just burped. I don't know if anyone heard that. Hopefully you didn't. But yeah, this time change, I don't know if this one really messes me up. The time change backwards always messes me up. What did mess me up this morning is whenever I got in my car doesn't automatically change the time, so I have to change it myself. So whenever I got in the car, I was like, wait, why am I here right now? And then I realized, well, I was like, okay, girl, well, I am been up since 5:30 a.m. Is there anyone that genuinely gets up, maybe like if someone like goes out and works out, but is there anyone that just enjoys waking up at 5 a.m.? I guess maybe like if you do it for work for a while, you just end up enjoying it, you know what I mean? Tongue check, go touch grass. Please go touch grass, like immediately. It's very nice outside, all over the world I'm pretty sure recently, so go outside and touch some very green grass. Immediately, please. Named after like ankle socks, knee socks, or high. I don't know. My friend, she had a cat named Mittens, and it was like back whenever like every cat was named Mittens, or like everything you read was like the cat was named Mittens. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'm not gonna do that. That's such a basic name. So I did Socks. And then I think like a few years later, I saw that Socks was one of the most popular cat names, and I was like I thought I really did something. Also, it's SOX, okay? Don't get it twisted. SOX. SOX. Socks. Hard X. Socks. Sorry, just had to clarify that because the misspelling of her name needs to come to an end. All right, I'm a little sick of it. 4 or 5 a.m. Like, you've kept waking up that early, like even after you've moved out, I almost said kept living up that early. You've kept waking up that early. And was she waking up for like a job or anything, or was she just waking up to wake up at that time? That's kind of crazy that people do that. You know what's also kind of crazy? Lola just calls me at every single time I'm busy. Like, I feel like towards the end of the night, and the reason why I'm just going off on this is because she just called me. I will tell her, like, I'm free at this point of this, whatever. And most of the time, it's, like, towards the end of the day. Or she'll call me, like, right after I just said, I'll be like, all right, I'm teaching Pickleball 101 at, say, like, 5 o'clock. She'll call me at, like, 5:10. And I'm like, girl. At 6? That makes sense. I just think that that's, like, super crazy to do on, like, say that if you never worked in your life. You know what I mean? If I never had to work a day in my life, like, literally just wake up and live life, which, I mean, I feel like ultimately everyone's always like, oh, your work doesn't want to feel like a job, whatever. If I didn't have any time obligations, I guess I should say. I didn't have any obligations to a certain place. Would I stay up? Would I wake up? Probably not. Hi, Drake. Hello. It's been a while. How have you been? Hi. Hello. I just think, why not? I don't know, but for me, I've just naturally found peace, and I guess it's sort of the same thing if I start just getting in the habit and waking up that early, is that no one's awake that late at night, or like everyone, it's just an established thing that like no one's really communicating. You know what I mean? Like, no one's really reaching out to you that much. No one's, it's like maybe your close friends, whatever, but you don't have that much obligation late at night. I don't know. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but to prep, cook rice. Oh, that's kind of fun. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's sort of the same, or like the same idea as people who stay up super late at night, because like all the stuff that I do, I can do it at night. Whenever I did for online school, so I did online gym and health. Somehow it's possible to do online gym. I did online gym because it was whenever I started working out a lot on my own, so I was like, all right, I'll just get gym credit for that and then open up a block in my schedule where gym and health would be, So when I did health, I would stay up very late. I would stay up till like 3 a.m., 5 a.m.-ish, just doing that work and getting it done. I literally got my online health done. It was a 3-month program. I finished it in 2 days. And I remember my goal was to finish it in a day, and I was so mad that it took me an extra day. And then I went and I turned in, because I did so much working out over the summer that my physical activity log, it was 10 hours in total. And I worked out, I think all I had to do was go into the second week because I worked out an hour a day. And when I turned it in, she was like, oh, like you were the one who finished it in a day. And I was like, yep, that's me. And she's like, all right, well, you have nothing to worry about the rest of the summer. And I was like, slay. Setups on Zoom? Yeah, no. So online gym, what we did, I don't know. So I was never, I was only in the Zoom era at the end of 2020, so I don't know how they actually did gym like that. Actually, I did dance class like that. I'll get into that in a second. But it was literally like you had to log your own hours. So the first year I did online gym, so the health portion is online. So it's basically, I'm trying to think, if it's 9 weeks, if it's a quarter long, so it's a class that's a quarter long, a 9-week class, and I think it's expanded a little bit, like you have a little bit more wiggle room, also because the weekends, all that, whatever, but you do online health, and then you do gym on your own time. So basically it was 5 hours of cardio and 5 hours of strength training that was required, which was really weird because in gym class we didn't do any of that. The only year that we did that was in 12th grade because you were allowed to pick what gym you wanted to take. You could pick, I think it was personal training, which was just that you went up to the weight room and the gym teacher would like monitor your progress, whatever, make sure you're actually doing stuff. And then what was there? I think there was just regular gym, and then there was, I think, stretching or some yoga, that's what it was. Regular gym and yoga, and everyone took yoga because the baseball coach taught the yoga class, and everyone loved him, not even in a way like, oh my gosh, teacher crush way. I feel like the way I said everyone loved him sounded like that. No, like everyone just got along with him well. He was very like personable with students, like very human, not just like a teacher that was like, okay, do this, whatever, I'm gonna ignore you for the rest of class. So that was weird that we had to do 5 hours of strength and 5 hours of cardio whenever we didn't even have to do them in class. Like I think I literally got more exercise done in online gym than I did in real life gym, just because sometimes gym, and like when you're in gym class, sometimes some kids just aren't going. I'm not asking you to go all out, go gym class hero mode on me, but I'm saying putting in effort. And some people don't enjoy sports, some people don't enjoy some gym class stuff, so I totally understand that. But then then I'm not going as hard because I sort of feel awkward, or it's just like I can't because like no one else around me is really working hard, so I'm just like, oh, this is high school. I never did anything. I actually have one college credit, and that's for pre-calculus, because I signed up for my pre-calculus and my chemistry class there was like some weird thing that they were accepted as college credits, so I did that, and I canceled it. I thought I did, and then they never canceled the pre-calc one, and we were like, well, the chemistry one is canceled, so can't you just like assume that I tried to cancel the pre-calc one? And they're like, yeah, well, no, sorry, you still owe us money. So we had to send the money for it, which was super annoying. And yeah, and they called us like almost a year and a half later, which me and my mom were talking about, like, why do places randomly call you a year and a half later, like way past everything's due, and they're like, hey, you actually need to do this? It's like, where have you been this whole time? Yeah, so in those cool classes like woodworking, yeah, we had tech ed classes like that. I just don't know the exact specific tech ed classes just because I never took them, but yeah, there was definitely a lot of woodshop classes, and I took one of the classes from the woodshop teacher because, it was really weird because hello, why isn't this backing up? Okay, so whenever I took AP Physics, that was a block period, so that was 2 periods, and you did yoga during class rather than doing or did you have a yoga class, or you just did yoga in class? That was kind of cool though. Anyways, AP Physics, it was like, say for example, first and second period, but then whenever I dropped AP Physics, they were like, all right, you have to go to general physics. So then I did, but that was 1 period, but then they for some reason added another period, and it was STEM, which we went on to the wood shop room, and it was really weird and just didn't make any sense, and they tried to the teachers were never on the same page, like they never communicated that well, so like anything we were learning in physics class, hello, why is this lagging? Okay, anyways, anything we were learning in physics class, it eventually like took us a week or so, and we had like already forgotten it. You know what I mean? Like where this is like seniors, no one is really like paying attention in physics. So I was like, whatever. And yeah, that was not fun. Kind of, but kind of not. Some of the stuff we did, I just remember being so stressed all the time in that class because that teacher just never really, I don't know. I just remember I just had a weird beef with that teacher. Sorry, my nose is itchy. I'm not picking my nose. It was sports subjects. Oh. That's kind of fun. So wait, if your school didn't have those sort of electives, like what electives did your school offer if they weren't offering woodshop? You know what I mean? At least like basic level woodshop. Because I remember in junior high we had a basic level woodshop class. But that wasn't optional. That like you had to take. In junior high you had to take woodshop, family, consumer science. I had to think of what it was called. And which is like home ec, art, and then music. Music was a tricky one. We had to write our own song, which was like a little bit like what? And we literally had like, it was kind of cool because our pianos were like attached to the computer. So like anytime we like typed a note, it would come up on the screen. So that was sort of fun. That was like a fun way to do it because it was very easy because I was like, oh, that sounds good, go up there. And then we had to present it to everyone and we had to like name it and everything. That was the part that made me super anxious and I did not like because it was just like, duh, why? You only had 2 electives, either art class or computer class. So, like, your schedule was the same every year, just like an advanced level of whatever you took the year before. Like, if you took Algebra 1, you took Algebra 2 the next year. Like, that was it. You had nothing. Like, I took marketing, I took forensic science, I took accounting, which I didn't hate the class, I just hated I loved the teacher. The format of the class was fine. I understood everything I was doing. It was just all like really complicated and I just didn't enjoy accounting. Like I'm not an accountant. I'm not meant to be an accountant. So, what else? I wish I would have taken art in school. I wish art would be less based on how well, like it's hard to grade art. You know what I'm saying? Because if I would have taken art, I can't promise I would have gotten A's and all that stuff. And that's what sort of held me back from ever taking it is because everyone that was taking art was either A, looking to pursue a career in it, or B, was just naturally good at it, so they were like easy A, whatever. But I think I was sort of stuck in the middle there where I was like, I enjoy doing it, but I am not that super good at it, so I just didn't ever take it. Which I think that was probably one of the classes I wish I took in high school. Just an entry-level art class. Just have a little fun with it, you know what I mean? And then we had to take it was called On Your Own, but it was like a family consumer science again. And then computer applications. We learned every Word program ever. Or not Word, Microsoft program ever. And I've never used them ever since. And I mean, like, I don't know. I'm sure workplaces and wherever it does have, you know, the Microsoft vibe, but I'm always using Word. Biology or physical science, right? Yeah, we had, so for us, like our math classes, our math and science classes, you only need to take 3. You only needed 3 credits of them. So technically, and you were allowed to take geometry and pre-calc online. Pre-calc wasn't really online, it was like a summer class because you would meet up with the teacher. And I almost took pre-calc over the summer. I almost took both over the summer. What would have been going through I cannot imagine the amount of suffering I would have went through if I tried to do that because I literally almost did. Hello, I'm doing great. How are you, Kevin? Whoops, sorry. I'm gonna stick my hand in because I'm cold. So technically you could have only taken if I would have taken Algebra 1 and then Geometry over the summer and then Algebra 2 sophomore year, then I would have been done with my math credits. And then I would have just never had to take a math again if I really wanted to. But whenever you got into senior year, they were considered electives, and then you got your elective credits from that. My favorite set of electives, honestly, was probably the social studies ones, which were psychology anthropology and sociology, which I didn't get to take sociology, which I wanted to take so bad, but again, stupid block periods and stupid requirements to graduate that I just didn't have room in my schedule for it. So that was just not so slay. Oh yeah, and we were required to take economics our senior year. And then I remember in economics, actually tomorrow's the 3-year anniversary of COVID. Wow, slay COVID. I can't believe that's so crazy. We were talking about it in economics, and it actually came up in my Snap memories. We were talking about it like the first week of February or second week of February, and my economics teacher was saying that there was this illness going around in other countries, and that it's looking like it's going to be a global pandemic. It could potentially affect the stock market, all this stuff, and we were just sitting there like, all right, whatever. And he was like, you guys are sitting there like, all right, whatever, but this is actually serious. Like, this is going to get crazy. And he was like one of those guys that was like always watching the news, so like he knew what was going on. GTA 5, woo, that's kind of fun. GTA 5, that's just like, for senior year all I needed was English. But my question is, if you didn't have any other electives, then what did you take your senior year? Oh my god, I forgot about Ebola. I had a teacher in 7th grade, which I guess maybe like when I was in 7th grade, since we didn't go into like any hard lockdown like we did with COVID or anything, I didn't take Ebola as like personally seriously as I did COVID. So whenever I was growing up, I always was like, this teacher was freaking out and was so weird about Ebola. Like he would always ask us, like every morning of health class, he would be like, so did anyone hear anything in the news about Ebola? And we're like, what? What are you, what? You know what I mean? We just didn't really understand, I guess, the severity of it. Not that it even got, I mean, I don't know how, I honestly still don't really know that much about it. Just because I'm sure he taught us stuff, but it was probably such surface level stuff since we were only like 13-year-olds and we clearly weren't paying attention anyways. I completely forgot about that. That's a memory unlocked. And yeah, that teacher like always brought it up. And I just remember being like, why? What? Like, I don't know. So, anyways, also random thought, just speaking of gym class, we did rock climbing in gym class in 8th grade, I think. 7th and 8th grade, I think, which was really scary. Imagine having a rock climb at your school. I feel like sometimes my school, I'm not saying my school was sketchy. I'm just saying like sometimes school stuff isn't like properly set up. So I'm like, is this professionally set up? You know what I mean? So I was like so nervous about it, and I remember I did it successfully. And then they were like, and the gym teacher, because you know I'm this big athlete to them apparently, like they're like, oh, go do the slanted, like the one that's at an angle, and I'm like, no, I think I went up like halfway. Mind you, it's not even like you're being held up by whatever. You know, if you go to some places, you're being held up by whatever system is like holding you, like has your strap. No, you're strapped to your friends. You're strapped, your friends are like basically pulling you up at the same time, and like sometimes people like would pull like too hard. You're fucking like getting the thing shot up your crotch. You're like, dude. Like, what? So I just randomly thought about that because I just remember that teacher was like always being like, come on Taylor, go on the slanted one. I'm like, stop. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Popular, you're gonna be popular. Made you what? No way. Are you serious? Be serious right now. I didn't know that. And that's like kind of scary. I don't think I could name a single side effect or thing that happens to you when you have Ebola, if you're serious right now. You've never been rock climbing at all? Like, even fake rock climbing? I've never been real rock climbing. I don't know if I ever want to. It's one of those things that's like, I want to do it just to have the experience, but it's also like, kind of scary. Kind of scary doing that IRL. IRL rock climbing? What's it called? I want to do bungee jumping though. That would be super fun. I always loved those bungee jumping trampolines. That was, I think, one of the main things that I was so upset of growing out of was those bungee trampolines at the malls. You have to know what I'm talking about. Hey Slicer, what's up? Long time no see. What's up? What's going on? That was like the most, and also my grip is kind of crap too, which I've been researching, or I haven't been researching, I saw it a while ago. Working on your grip, like to strengthen your grip, you literally just have to grab dumbbells and just stand there for as long as you can. That's one. And then like heavy dumbbells, obviously not like 10 pounds. I'm like, ooh, it's easy. And then holding not like a pull up like here, just like a hang. Is it called a dead hang or something like that? I forget what it's called, but just like holding that. And I would do that for a while, and I actually did see like a lot of changes or like improvements in my grip for deadlifts and stuff like that, but I stopped doing that because I was just like, I feel like I look kind of weird. But whatever. Gotta get that grip strength, honestly. Because it's hard. I hate whenever I'm doing RDLs or something like that and I'm like, my legs could keep going, but my hands can't. Like, bouldering is the fake one, right? I don't know. I just know that, like, I'm saying fake one as in, like, at the mall. You know what I mean? Like, or, like, at the fair whenever they have those, like, rock walls, you know? And you're just, like, it's, like, fake. And it's, like, red and green and blue rocks and all that stuff. And, like, one wall is harder than the other. And the other wall is easier or whatever. I need to do gymnastics. I did gymnastics when I was younger, actually. I forgot about that. You started reminding me that I did. Hey, what's up? What's going on? How are you? Gymnastics. I was in advanced. I think I was in advanced 2, if not advanced 1, and that's the like highest you could go. It's advanced 2. So, just saying, I loved doing the bar, like where you like would flip and all that, and I also like doing the vault. The vault was super fun because you would like land in this big, like giant, fluffy like pillow thing. So it was so fun, and I honestly miss gymnastics. I wish if like I kept doing something, it would have been that. Seriously, I think I quit it for hockey or dance, like something like that. I think my parents were actually like more dance classes, quit gymnastics, or something like that. I don't know. I forget. But I remember also being so nervous to go into gymnastics. Because it was weird because there was 2 studios in my town one was a dance studio and one was a dance studio and a gymnastics place. So I went to the dance studio, the one dance studio, and I went to the other place for gymnastics. I felt like I was going to the rival. My thing, probably the bar. I don't remember much. I don't think I had that many shows. I think I literally just did like 1 or 2 shows, I'm pretty sure. And my grandma had a field day with that. She was like so happy that she like always wanted me to be a super girly girl. So whenever I did ballet or gymnastics or anything that was like considered more feminine, she was like super happy about it. I did gymnastics too. No, that's fun though. I think that like whenever guys do dance or gymnastics, I don't think anything's wrong with that at all. So I hate whenever people say that they got embarrassed or like shamed out of it, because I think it's so cool. Because also when you think about it, look at like Justin Bieber and any like famous man ever that's a singer or a dancer, you know what I mean? Like everyone like loves them and is obsessed with them. So it's kind of weird that whenever we see a guy taking dance lessons or singing lessons, anything like that, sometimes people are like, oh, that's weird. And it's like, but you obsess over someone who dances all the time, you know? Gymnastics and dancing, yeah, I did it all, man. But I wish I would have stuck with gymnastics because there's a lot of tricks that I wish I could do. I remember I tried to do a front walkover and I like hurt my hip for a few days, and my brother was like, what did you expect, you have hip problems and you kept landing on your hip. And I'm like, all right, grandpa, get to bed. No, I was just like, okay, I get it, okay, let me live life, you know. So I want to do like all these gymnastics tricks. The other day I was trying to do an aerial, which if you don't know what an aerial is, that's basically a cartwheel with no hands. And I'm like very close to lifting my hand off the ground. Like I can like lift it up like halfway through. Play volleyball? No! I've actually heard. So, when I was in Pennsylvania, a lot of the guy friends that I knew, they loved volleyball. They wanted to start a volleyball team at our school. I don't know, that like starting a team, say that if it's like the beginning of sophomore year and you want to start a team, the chances of a team starting is probably like not until your senior year, which like sucks because I remember they tried to start a field hockey team and it was just like practicing for 1 year and then the next year was actually playing. And I almost did it, which I wish I did, but it was a lot of the lacrosse people. And I loved lacrosse, wish I didn't quit lacrosse, but he always wanted me to play midi, and I hated midi, so I quit. But it's a lot of lacrosse people, so I kind of felt embarrassed to go back and like confront, and then they'd be like, why aren't you in lacrosse? And I think actually the lacrosse coach was coaching it or something, and or like something, like helping or something, and he always tried to get me back on, and I felt so bad because I just was like, no, I don't have the cardio for midi. But no, back to volleyball. When I moved to Florida, a lot of my family friends that we talked to down here, they've either played volleyball, like the guys, they've either played volleyball in high school, their kids played volleyball in high school, they do play volleyball in high school. Like, there's volleyball in high school, and maybe it's just more of a southern thing, maybe, I don't know, but male volleyball is like a big thing down here. It's not something that's like, oh, that's super weird, why are you doing that? Like, I don't know. So, that's the one sport I've never played. I couldn't even tell you the rules to volleyball. But was there a boys team at your school? If there's a boys team at your school, that's a little messed up that, like, you got talked out of it whenever you should have been playing on that team. Slang it away. Yeah, starting a league is definitely really hard, mostly whenever you're in high school like that. I felt like I heard like Milo like snap. Anyways, no, for sure, because we tried to actually start, which is really weird. I think we wanted to start a pickleball team back in 9th grade. Whenever we learned it, we were like, oh, let's start a pickleball team because we saw other schools had pickleball teams, and we were like, oh my gosh, and we were like designing like jerseys for it and stuff like that, and then like we realized we just did not have enough people, or it was badminton maybe, I don't know, one of the two. And it was just so hard. It was like impossible, and I don't know if there's like, wasn't a boys team, only girls, and a lot of my cousins played. That's so annoying. Do you play today? Like, do you play like pickup if you ever like playing at family events or whatever, or even if you do go to any leagues? Because yeah, finding leagues is really hard. Mostly whenever it's a sport that is mainly dominated in one gender and then like it's still heavily dominated in another, but it's still pretty hard. So for like hockey, it was really hard to find girls, mostly in our area. So it got to a point where like I was playing at a rink, I was playing at my local rink, and then I played 30 minutes away, and then I ended up having to play an hour away. Like, it was just so hard to find a team and find girls. And yeah, so we just had to, like, there would be times where if people didn't show up to a game, we would literally only have like one line and two people to rotate in and just like hope that we would survive. Yeah, we played pickleball. So I learned it in gym class in 9th grade, and it was really weird because back to my point about like we didn't do that many workouts in class was we learned ping pong, badminton, and pickleball, all within that like 9 weeks of gym class. And then we had like a Friday off, I'm pretty sure. Like we had Friday like a free day. But that's just like really weird to like, it was really weird. It was all racket sports just for our 9th grade gym class. So we learned it, and I don't think I picked up that many of the rules. I think everything was so complicated, and you know, like I'm a high schooler, like I don't give a crap about this. It's some weird sport. But look at me now. It's literally changed my life. I'm not even joking. If my parents never started playing pickleball, I don't think we would have even moved out to Florida. I'm genuinely serious about that. You seriously haven't played since COVID? No way. Mine family events, so we never go. Oh, but no, not anymore. Oh no. So My friend would always go to camping trips like that too, but it wasn't like, so there was one camping trip she would always do, but there was another one that was like well, like from my perspective, I don't think it's like nationwide known like Coachella, but I always considered it like a Coachella, like a religious Coachella, because it was like a big festival, big music festival, and they would camp out for days. I think I don't know how many days it was actually, but it was a few days, and it was just this big festival, and they always went to it, and they always went camping, and I was like, that's so crazy that they're going to a music festival. And my friends were like, well, it's like more like of a church thing, and I was like, yeah, but that's like sort of cool. But I just don't know how I feel about camping. I don't know if I like am really a camper. I don't know if that's me or if that'll ever be me. You know, I just don't know about that. Even like glamping, you know, whenever you're like in a house in the woods, I still don't know about that. Because even sometimes whenever they have like a house, it's like not even a... It's like sometimes like they don't have running water or something, and it's like, oh, see, that's something I need. So it's like, I just need a regular house in the middle of nowhere. I don't know. But, that's crazy. You haven't played volleyball in that long. How many people, I don't know, this is a stupid question. I literally don't know how many people it takes to play volleyball. I remember one time, but, whenever I was growing up, for some reason, I think it was the night before summer ended, like, you know, like, summer ends day before, you know? Like, for going into the school year. I think I made my parents sleep outside in a tent with me. Like, in our backyard in a tent. Like, we got a tent and set it up in our backyard. And my dad ended up going in halfway through the night, and then my mom woke me up and was also like, yeah, let's go inside. Because the grass started getting damp, and, like, you could tell. And it was just, I don't know. I feel like, I forget if I fell asleep. I honestly really forget much besides remembering my dad waking up and just going inside. And I was like, I'm only here for food and fishing. You're like, I understand that the church group brought me here, but I'm only here for the benefits of whatever this is. 2v2? Oh, 2v2 sucks. Is it like one of those things that it's like you only hit it back and forth a few times and then it's over? Like if you play singles in pickleball, it's like there's like a few rallies and it's over, just because it's like a guessing game. You know what I mean? If you hit it, you just have to guess which way they're gonna hit it, and if you guess the right way, you survived you live to see another day. But chances are when, you know, you have to do the same thing back. So I don't know. I haven't actually, don't think I've ever played 1v1 pickleball. But yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like I knew there was a lot of people in volleyball, but I didn't know how many. And also another thing that I feel like I sort of would like about volleyball is that it's rally scoring. So if the other team makes a good play, even if they didn't serve, they get a point, which is kind of a slay. I sometimes get frustrated in pickleball. It's like I'll make an amazing play, and then all the other person does is lose their serve, and I'm like, but come on. Yeah, singles in like most games are just like not that fun, just because it's not really, even if it was originated, which I don't know if pickleball originated from singles or what, but it's just not as like, there's a whole open court. Like it's really hard to do that. And I've never played full on tennis. I think that I did a tennis camp when I was younger, but I don't remember, like I didn't do it that much. I almost played tennis my senior year. Like I almost just tried to learn and just play just for fun, but I did not. And I think tennis is like actually like the only, now that I'm thinking about it, the only like singles game. But you can play, I don't know. I actually don't know how tennis works singles, but I know that I'm now realizing, I'm pretty sure there's a doubles. There's a doubles tennis, which I think so, right? At least there was on the Wii. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I always, I don't know. I just always like was doing these like random camps in the summer growing up. I don't know why. My parents, they were like always involved with my parents were always involved with their own sports, like growing up. Like that was their hangout. Like they would go and play pickup basketball. They'd go play pickup hockey. Like all this stuff. So they sort of put us in the same situation as well, but not pickup rather than like clubs or camps or stuff like that. And it was super fun. I don't know, but it's one of those things that's like it's hard because then you have to pick and choose your favorite sports. You know, because it got to a point whenever I was in middle school, I want to say, I was doing taekwondo, and I wanted to do another hockey team, and my mom was like, I vividly also remember telling her which one I wanted to do, because I remember that was the hardest choice for me to make, was quit taekwondo quit taekwondo to play on another hockey team, or play on one hockey team, continue taekwondo, and I quit taekwondo. Which another thing, man, why'd I do that? Because that second hockey team I played on, it was boys, because girls were allowed to play on boys teams. Mostly, like, whenever it's younger, it's not that much of a difference. And yeah, it was fun, but I don't know. I just enjoyed, like, I don't know. I kind of miss taekwondo. Hi, welcome to the live. How are you? Didn't want me to do any sports because, I don't know. I was so bored. No, I would want to get injured whenever I was younger. I like remember just wanting my ankle to be broken, my ankle to be sprained, and I think that I manifested so hard for it to happen that it just never is going to. I do have weak ankles, so I often do have to do like exercises to maintain my ankle strength, but because like I would always twist it in dance, and it would hurt so bad. I twisted it once during softball, once during dance, and once during pickleball. I think twice during softball in the same season too. But once was during pickleball, and I remember I just remember feeling my ankle like fully go sideways, and I was like, ouch, ouch, and I kept playing, and the guy was like, are you okay? And I was like, yep, I'm fine, let's just keep playing. And then I immediately was like, all right, I need to go home as soon as the game ended. I was like, all right, I need to go home, I need my mom. No, but, yeah, I had very weak ankles, so I always wanted to be hurt. I don't know why. I also remember one time I pretended like I twisted my ankle on a ladder. Like, so at the playgrounds we had, which, it was, like, all over Pennsylvania, like, anywhere we traveled, if there was, like, a playground, you know, in, like, malls and stuff like that. Well, one time I actually did twist my ankle on a ladder like this at a mall, so I thought that I could get away with, like, pulling this off. I thought that whenever I twisted my ankle at the mall, I don't think it was that bad. I don't know. I don't remember if it ever got swollen, but I vividly remember being traumatized by that and not using any. It was like the licorice-looking ladders. I never explained that, but it was like the ones that are like wobbly, and they weren't like rope, but they were like licorice. Like that's just the only way I can think of to describe them. Is they looked like licorice. And if you've ever like seen like one of those rope ladders, quite probably the same idea. So I pretended like I twisted my ankle on it, and I remember like laying there like. Like, I was like, Mom, and like she just wasn't answering. I was like, Mom, and she just not answering. So I'm like, ah! Still nothing. Like she's still just fully, just not getting back to me. And I got up and walked over, and I was like, I think I broke my ankle on the thing or something like that. I think she ended up coming over or something, and she's like, I know you did not break. She's like, I can tell you didn't break it. She's like, you would be not able to talk to me. I don't know. I wanted a cast. I wanted one of those like casts. I wanted it to be broken. But the thing is though, is like, I don't know, because, okay, I go to the doctor, you know, she takes me to the ER, I go to the doctor, and then they're like, all right, you're not broken. Like, there's only so far you can fake that. I really wanted a cast. And I also feel like, in this day and age, I don't see that many people with casts anymore. Is there like some new technology people are using that's not casts? Yeah, but I wanted something everyone could sign. I think my friend broke her ankle in 5th grade. I don't remember where I was at that point in life when I pretended to break my foot, but I think she broke her foot or did something to it that she had to wear a cast. I knew someone in kindergarten that had to wear a cast on both her feet because she would always walk on her tiptoes. like constantly walk on her tippy toes. So they put casts on her feet to get her to stop. That's crazy. Like, that's crazy. I feel like that's extreme. Because, like, you're not walking anymore. Like, she was, like, crutching around. It's, like, punishing the kid for doing that rather than, like, preventing it, I guess. They would, like, skate around the halls. Okay. Here's one thing that would annoy me about those people in high school is because they would run into you. And it's like, dude, I understand that, like, I'm so sorry that you hurt yourself in one way, shape, or another. I'm so sorry you did that. But, like, that does not excuse you to run into me. Like, that doesn't give you the pass to go faster than me in the hallway and, like, run me over. Like, I don't know. But or, like, I wanted to be able to leave class early because this was broken and, you know, you need to have more time to walk to class and all that. Rally was slay. I haven't seen Diary of a Wimpy Kid in forever, but for some reason, I've been seeing a lot of ads and stuff for it. Is there like a new one coming out? I'm pretty sure there is. I don't know. What else was I gonna say? I don't know, yeah, but I was one of those girls that I wanted everyone to sign, and I'll just admit it, like, I wanted the attention that came with having a cast. Like, I feel like whenever you were in a cast, everyone was always asking you, how you doing, what's your status update on your cast, and, you know, like, all that stuff, and then, like, when it is on its way down to, like, just the little brace type thing, and all that stuff, and I remember whenever I tore my hip, my labrum in my hip, I was like, come on! Like, the one surgery I need is something that is, like, obviously I'm on crutches. And that's one of those things that's, like, for a little bit I thought I would look weird is because I was walking around on crutches with nothing on my feet. Like, nothing was, like, it looked like I was just walking on crutches for fun. You know? Or, like, I went to IKEA with my friends, like, a week later, and I was in a wheelchair. And because IKEA's a lot of walking if you've never been there. And I almost didn't grab a wheelchair. I'm glad I did or else my armpits would have been hurting. Anyways, we got a wheelchair and my friend pushed me around. It was so fun. But I looked like I was just wasting it because I didn't have a cast. No one would sign it. Anyways, why? I feel like that's a lie. Do you know if you get to keep your cast? I feel like they like cut it off and then they ask you maybe? If you want to keep it? I don't know. That could be a lie. That could be fully lying. Look like it hurt? Yeah. It was a bit of a pain on the armpits for sure. I never got any of those covers just because I wanted to off them so bad. I was the same way with crutches though. I would pretend like I needed crutches for something and I would say to my mom, oh, like, should I use the crutch? And I think I was dramatic one time and I twisted my ankle and I used crutches to go somewhere, and it might have been to like work or something, I don't know, and I was on crutches. And hi Andrea, what's up? Maybe, but I feel like there's not waterproof ones, but I do know like back in the day they used to like, you used to have to like put a plastic bag over it and make sure it didn't get wet. But that was another thing, I really wanted on crutches, and then whenever I got crutches, I was like, alright, I don't want on them anymore. But also, I just feel like I looked weird. And then whenever I was like, alright, I'm going to be off crutches because it was at a point where, like, I was comfortable enough. But obviously, you know, doctor's recommendations, whatever, I didn't want to go too far than I should be. He put me on one crutch. And I was like, I look even more like an idiot. And I was just telling my mom about this the other day. I was getting my nails done, and afterwards, I was going to physical therapy, and it was my last, I don't know if it was my last appointment, but I think it was my last appointment. Like, I knew I was getting cleared to be off crutches, and I was saying to her, yeah, like, I think I'm going to this appointment, and I'm going to not be on crutches anymore. And she was like, oh my gosh, that's so good for you, like, slay. And I walked over to the sink, because whenever you get your nails done, they like have you wash off your nails, which I don't know why actually, I think it's just all the dust. I walked over without the crutch. And again, I also don't have a cast on, don't have anything on, and like I maybe have like two little X marks the spots on my hip, but no one's, you know, like looking at that. I feel like sometimes even when I look, I can't see it. So I was like, dude, all these people are probably like, oh my gosh, this faker, this liar, she's like, what the heck? Because then I had to leave with my crutch. So I don't know. What I remember now is I had to get my nails removed for the surgery because apparently, like, when you're getting surgery, they check your nails to see if you're, like, that's how they can check if you're alive or something like that, or, like, stop breathing. Something like that. I don't know, which is kind of crazy. That's kind of cool, though. But, yeah, sorry Russell's barking. He just probably sees or hears something that he just feels he has to. Like, sometimes I get paranoid that, like, someday they're gonna be barking and it's gonna be like a valid reason, and I'm just like, oh, shut up. It's like an old grumpy man, you know. But yeah, that's my urge to get hurt. I don't know. It was all ultimately at the end of the day for attention. Like, I wanted the attention. I feel like I can just openly admit that now. I feel like I just wanted that cool look. Everyone, and like, at what cost, though? You know what I mean? Because, like, if you break your ankle, or if you get surgery on anything, chances are it's likely to happen again, or like you're gonna have issues with that in the future. Like, my doctor was telling me that there's a very high chance I'm gonna have arthritis in my hip now, so that's fun. I feel like I already have it because sometimes it'll randomly ache, but you know, that's a slay. And that's also another thing that annoyed me about my hip is there was never a moment, you know, whenever like you break your ankle, you're like, that ankle broke. You know what I mean? Like, you like fall, ankle is broken, you see it happen, bam. There was never a moment where I was like, ow, my labrum in my hip. You know what I mean? Like, ah. Oh my gosh, I remember there would be those like viral photos of like soccer players like breaking their ankle. I can't even think of that. Like, I remember like seeing one and everyone was like, repost or bad luck, and I was like, dude, that's so messed up. Why would you pick? So I get you. To get concussions during sparring or something, so I never go super hard. Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Concussions are like nothing to really mess around with. I remember whenever my friends would get concussions and I never had one at that point yet, I would be like, oh, like, they're not that bad, whatever. Whenever I had my first concussion, I was so irritable. Like, I was so bad. Your first concussion is always your worst concussion, they said, usually. Or, like, your most evident, like, you have the most, I don't know, like, hard time with because you're not used to it. That's what I mean to say. You have the most hard time with it because you don't know what you're going through, whatever. I was so irritable. The best thing to do whenever you have a concussion, though, is literally just lay in a dark room with ice on your head. That was the best thing for me. And I remember coming up from school being so relieved. Like, I'd be like, yes, ice on the head, dark room, asleep for the rest of the night. Like, dude. And then, after that, like, after you get your first concussion, if you ever, like, hit impact, you, like, immediately know when you have another concussion. So it's, like, one of those good yet bad things, because whenever I got my first concussion, it's because we got rear-ended, so it was whiplash. And I vividly remember being, like, my head hurts so bad just from being in this cafeteria. Like, I cannot sit in here. It's too loud. And my friend was saying I was being dramatic. Like, she was literally, like, talking crap about me and was like, I don't know why Taylor's being dramatic. It's probably just whiplash. And I was like, you can get a concussion from whiplash. What are you talking about? And I went to the doctor, so I don't know how many years ago, before I got that concussion, my friends from hockey, all of them were getting concussions. So my mom made an appointment for me to get my baseline test. And I took that baseline test, and he was like, yeah, you have a concussion. And my friend was like, well, why did you even go to the doctor? And I was like, for freaking insurance purposes, because we got rear-ended, you got to report. Their arms doing arm wrestling. Oh, I've never seen that, and I don't even want to think of that. Ew, 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 ew. Ah. I've never seen that, and I don't even want to imagine that. That is, that actually has me squeamish. Then I'm trying to think of other concussions. I don't know. The other concussion I had, I just hit my head on the ice at hockey. I think I was like fighting with a girl, and like she like pushed me down, and then I took her down with me, but I fell first, so I like whammed my head. And then as soon as I hit my head, I knew I had a concussion. And then I skated off the ice, and the doctor was like doing all the concussion protocols. She's like, all right, you're good. You don't have a concussion. And then whenever I got off the ice and went to my parents' I was like, I know I have a concussion. I was like, I can tell that it's just not working up there. And I literally got like a doctor's note for the first concussion I had. And noise hurt me so bad. And I sat in the front row of my history class, and this teacher would always scream. And one time I literally glared at her, and she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Taylor. And I was just like, oh my God. And then this other time, she slammed the door yelling at us, and then I literally went like this because it just hurt it startled me and it hurt my head. And she goes, oh my gosh, Taylor, I'm so sorry. And she's like, look what you guys made me do to poor Taylor. And I was like, you chose to do that. But it was nice because I got not got away on some assignments, but certain stuff was so hard to concentrate, and a lot of teachers were actually really understanding, so that's good. Old school or new age? Probably both. I think a mix of both. I think it was sort of like one parent did one parent did the other, or like vice versa. Or like just split down the middle, you know. I feel like they understand times change, but they also have their ways of parenting, you know. When am I playing with Ross Lynch again? I don't know. I haven't really been following them that much anymore. Their recent album was not that good to me. Oops. And not even like something that I could pretend like it was good. And I don't know. I think they're doing he said. They posted the other day, they're performing 3 shows in New York, Arizona, New York, Phoenix, and Chicago? No. New York, Phoenix, LA, probably, I don't know. And Ross said on his stories, he was like, these are the only concerts we're doing this year. The rest of the year we're doing festivals. And I was like, oh, damn. So, I don't really know. I don't really know when they're releasing new music. Hopefully it's a lot better than the last music they've done, because it was unfortunately not that good. Hey Freddie, what's up? What's going on? Why am I already hungry again? I'm probably gonna eat dinner again in 2 hours. Eat dinner in 2 hours. I need to get dinner. Last night I had Chipotle, and for the first time in forever, I ate the whole quesadilla and was so full after. Which, usually I'll feel a little bit full, but I literally was ouch, I can't eat anymore. But then I ate my chips and queso anyways, because why would I not? Why would I not eat my chips and queso? No, I'm not going to Coachella. It's definitely up on my bucket list as well. It's definitely something that I want to go to. It's an experience that I feel I have to have. But I'm not in any hurry. It's also Ariana headlined already. Harry Styles headlined already. Billy already headlined. I don't know. 5 Sauce, if they headlined, maybe go. But I just don't know. It's a lot of money to go. For how much money it is to go to Coachella, I'm not going to go when some artist I don't know that well is playing. And also the thing about me with GA concerts, not even concerts, but big festivals like that, mostly after Astroworld, ain't no way I'm fighting for the front. I'm gonna be as far back as I need to be, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, it's one of those things that's more just about the vibes, you know? But I definitely do want to go one day. I wonder, isn't there a festival? Rolling Loud. That's in Florida. Yes, that's in Florida. Yep. Yeah, I would love to go to many musical festivals. I kind of want to go to Lollapalooza sometime. I remember I think I saw 5 Sauces performing there, and I was like, Mom, let's go to Lollapalooza. And she was like, no. Or someone I knew was performing. And she was like, no, what? And I was like, okay. Because I didn't know what festivals were really. I was like, oh yeah, let's go. And she's like, girl, what? I don't think he is. I honestly think he bounced back from that way faster than he... Not to be he should have, but I mean, I don't know, that was kind of messed up what he did. And the fact that everyone is just sort of okay. kind of weird to me. And I understand, like, sometimes people were like, oh, like, but he has really good music, or like his music's so good, whatever. Okay, why? Okay, and like, you can still admit that he messed up and did something wrong, you know? So, I don't know. That was really crazy to think about, though. Like, everyone, like, it's always crazy to think about, like, whenever a big world event happens like that with, like, a person with a platform. I was going to say influencer, but it could be, like, an artist, musician, whatever, actor. Because everyone is just, like, sitting around waiting for what they have to say, you know? Hey, Josh, what's up? What's going on? It's hard to clip, or it's hard to snap when my nails are long. I need to get my nails done. Look at how bad my nails are. These are literally from my birthday. I've just never gone to get them done. I should not be showing them off like that. Like, that's not cute or anything. Like, that's just not the vibe, you know? But I think I'm gonna hop off. I think I'm gonna go continue my Sunday fun day. Thank you guys for joining me. Also, Burning Man, I've heard some pretty scary stories about Burning Man. That, like, it's one of those things that's, like, that would be, I don't know much about it to say, like, oh, I want to go, but I've heard some scary stories that are, like, whoa. Not, like, scary, but, like, whoa stories, you know? But thank you guys for hanging out with me, whether it's for the whole bit, whether it's for the whole time, or just a little bit, hanging with me live or on the VOD. YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, wherever. Thank you for hanging out with me. I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday and make it a fun day. And as always, stay happy, stay hydrated. I love you guys. And I'm sorry that the lives have been super all over the place recently, but my lives have been all over the place and I've just been going crazy. And that's just how it be sometimes, though, you know? So, but I love you guys, and thank you for sticking with me this whole time. I really do appreciate you guys, and I'll be posting on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and all that, and I will see you guys soon. I love you guys. Peace out. Bye.